Hello and welcome to Monsoon Mike's Weather Balloon with me, Monsoon Mike, taking you on a journey through a little bit of weather education, a little bit of weather history, and the weather for the next few days of your life. First, our weather education segment. Congratulations, 2011 has gone down as the rainiest year on record. So rainy, the weather balloon teleprompter got lost in the flood, and I'm here with paper. Hey, I had to make a joke about it, Cara, sorry. We still have a couple more months to go in the year, and we've already broken the rainiest year on record, but I'm sure the fact that it was the rainiest year on record is no surprise to any of you. We had a spring that just didn't want to quit raining, and then after finally a few quiet summer months, we got pounded with several tropical storms late in the summer and early fall, which dumped even more rain on us. And this autumn has been anything but dry, with at least one decent rainstorm every week, it seems. So what record did we break? Well, according to the National Weather Service, 1972 was the leader until now, when Hurricane Agnes dumped tremendous amounts of rain across central Pennsylvania. And meteorologist Barry Lambert at the Weather Service says that at the current pace of rainfall that we're going at, we could easily wind up with 70 inches of rain by the end of the year, which blows apart 1972 when we had 60 inches of rain in this area. But it wasn't just tropical storms that dumped all this rain on us. No, several other storms, which weather gurus like myself like to call breakaway low-pressure systems, set up shop over our area and dumping lots of rain. What's a breakaway low pressure? It's when usually low pressures are guided by the jet stream, the upper level, high-speed winds above us, upstairs in the sky. But this year we had several of those storms that broke away from that guiding force, the jet stream, and sort of just stalled over the area, sitting for days upon days, causing, days upon days of rain. Remember that time about a month ago when it rained for like 9 days straight? That was a breakaway low pressure system that set up shop over Ohio, Ohio, and didn't move for 9 days. So, are we going to have these breakaway low pressures continue through the next several months? Several people have asked me, Monsoon Mike, if the winter's anything like what we've had over the spring and the summer, my gosh, if we had a breakaway low pressure system set up in the wintertime, when it's cold, we could theoretically have feet of snow. Is that true? Well, I wouldn't panic quite yet. It's very unusual for storms to break away from the jet stream during the winter months because the jet stream tends to move things along during the colder months. So I wouldn't quite panic too much, but I do still think we're going to have an active winter. Like I said, though, a couple weeks ago, more along the ice and rain type storms, hugging the coast and bringing in some warmer air off the ocean and giving us those icy mixes. But we'll see. With the way this year has gone, anything is possible. Now you know a little bit more about how the weather works. Up next, this date in weather history. Welcome back to Monsoon Mike's Weather Balloon, my favorite segment, This Date in Weather History. On this date, back in 1785, speaking of tons of rain, a 4-day rainstorm sent the Merrimack River up in New Hampshire and Massachusetts to the highest date to record, damaging many mills and bridges. Very destructive. About a century later, in 1878, a hurricane caused widespread damage from North Carolina all the way up to the New Jersey shore. History books say, to date, it was the worst hurricane in the Philadelphia area on record. Some really old weather history right there. Now let's move to somewhat more recent history, where back in 1947, not really weather per se, but perhaps caused by weather, like dry conditions or maybe a lightning strike. It really isn't in history books what caused it. But forest fires burned down homes, and a medical institute up in Maine not really a state known for forest fires. Usually you hear about that out in the Southwest somewhere. In 1969, extremely cold air hit the northeast part of the U.S. with lows of 10 in New Hampshire and 6 in Albany. 1988, wild snow squalls hit the Great Lakes region, sending one gust of wind to 80 miles per hour in State College. That's not far from here, only about 2.5 hours. 80-mile-per-hour winds across Pennsylvania. And in fairly recent history, as recently as 2005, just 6 years ago, Hurricane Wilma, good old Wilma, hit near Everglades City in Florida with winds of 120 miles per hour, killing 10 people, causing $18 billion in damage. That's the weather history segment.
3, 2, 1.
I am an electronic media major.
I'm an EM major.
We are EM majors.
I'm an electronic media major.
We are electronic media majors.
We are
Electronic media at Kutztown.
And now the weather forecast for the next few days of your life. Hard to believe that it was just about a week or so ago that we had record October snowfall and cold, and now we may be having record temperatures. But on the other side of things, making much people happier, that's right, temperatures could be near record highs over the coming days as a warm southerly ridge builds over the area, at least for the first half of the week. Partly sunny skies Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, clouding up a little bit on Wednesday. Temperatures should be in the mid-60s through the period, maybe even approaching 70 in some of our warmer areas to the south, but that all comes to an end with a cold front moving through the area on Thursday. Thursday could be cloudy and showery. Friday is quite up in the air. It depends on what some computer models are telling me. Some models don't have it as that much of a situation. Other models have it as more of a rainstorm, possibly even ending as some wet snow far to the north, with highs only in the upper 40s to low 50s. And next weekend looking rather sunny with normal temperatures in the mid-50s. So enjoy the unseasonable warmth for the first half of the week. It's not going to last. See you next week.
This has been Monsoon Mike's Weather Balloon with me, Monsoon Mike. Join me here again next week. Hopefully the teleprompter will be working next week right here in my weather balloon. See ya.